In today's video, I will be talking about Truth Killer by the band Sevendust. Produced by Michael Baskette, released on July 28, 2023 via Napalm Records. Sevendust is a band from Atlanta, Georgia, formed in 1994 by bassist Vince Hornsby, drummer Morgan Rose, and rhythm guitarist John Connolly. After they released a demo, lead vocalist Lajon Witherspoon and lead guitarist Clint Lowery joined the group. The band changed their name a few times, but they decided on the name Sevendust, and they released their self-titled debut album on April 15, 1997. Took them a while to get recognized, but eventually they achieved 3 consecutive gold albums, a Grammy nomination, and have sold millions of records worldwide. The last time we heard from this band was about 3 years ago when they released their 13th album, Blood and Stone, on October 23rd, 2020 through Rise Records. This album included a cover of The Day I Tried to Live, a tribute to Chris Cornell. This was one of the first album reviews I ever did on this channel. It was a new release. I think my channel was less than a month old when I reviewed this, and I will link that video to the end screen. The album was produced by Michael Baskette, who has also worked with Slash, Trivium, Alter Bridge, and Mammoth WVH. This was their 3rd consecutive album working with him. Let's talk about the songs. There are 12 tracks in about 50 minutes. Some of the songs are more laid back, and others have some heavy riffs that come at you like John J. Rambo.
Don't push it, I'll give you a war you won't believe.
The album opens with a song that's kind of laid back, so let's get right into it. I Might Let the Devil Win is the opening track, and this one was kind of surprising because it was somewhat of a mellow track. The song is slow, haunting, and emotional. The lyrics describe someone who is battling personal demons. The song is very atmospheric for the first half, but during the second half, Lajon lets out some more powerful vocals. Truth Killer has more of a futuristic sound, which is more reminiscent of their older sound. The song sounds more like something from their nu metal roots. It's a catchy song. Once the chorus comes in, it gets a lot more melodic. The song still has some killer breakdowns and even some harsh vocals in the second half of the song. Won't Stop Bleeding is another song with some heavy metalcore style guitar riffs. This would be another song that I would put in the classic Sevendust category. It's both heavy and melodic with some catchy rhythms. Everything was one of the singles, and this reminded me a little of classic Sevendust, but with some touches of modern rock and industrial. Clint Lowery plays some complex guitar riffs between the verses and the chorus, and it's very just big and bold. The lyrics are emotional and appear to describe some type of toxic relationship. I feel that this is one of the songs that can be very relatable. No Revolution was one of the surprises on the album. It had more of a heavy metalcore type of sound that could be heard in the brutal guitar riffs in the intro, but this heaviness was contrasted by some melodic vocals. Overall, it's a song that was both catchy and heavy. Sick Mouth was a cool song. It was one of the more laid-back songs with some futuristic guitar riffs and melodic vocals. Like many of the other songs, this one has a nice mix of the heavy and the light sounds. Holy Water was one of the singles, and this one has some elements of classic Sevendust, but with more of a modernized sound. They seem to have become influenced by progressive rock bands in this one. The verses may be soft, but there are still some heavy nu metal riffs present. The song is thought-provoking, and the vocals are very emotional. Leave Hell Behind is another song that is soft and emotional. When you first listen to the song, you are draped with a wall of atmospheric sounds that lead to the vocals that are delivered in an emotional manner. The song is mostly a softer song, but they do have some underlying heavy parts that seem to creep up on you on the song. Superficial Drug was one of the singles, and this one has an emotional feel. The song starts with some softer guitar riffs, and the bass guitar can be heard in the forefront. There are some heavy guitars that come into the song along the softer atmospheric sounds. Lajon Witherspoon has a softer vocal approach throughout most of the song, and he lets us know he is a really good singer. Messenger is a laid-back song with some cleaner vocals. On this track, Lajon is really showing his vocal range, and let me repeat what I just said. He just, again, reminds us how good of a singer he really is. The song is more of a relaxed type of song. They still have a little distortion used for atmosphere and less for crunch. Love and Hate is the penultimate song, and this one starts off heavy, but then continues with melodic vocals. They use a lot of futuristic guitar riffs and deep string bends that keeps the song heavy, but overall the song is very melodic and emotional. Vince has some of those classic nu metal guitar riffs that this band has been known for. The song is energetic with some heavy riffs and fast drumming. Lajon Witherspoon delivers some harsh vocals in the verse and some melodic vocals in the chorus. This is a good song for those of you who like their classic sound. There's a killer breakdown with some interesting types of guitar sounds. This is the last song on the album, and I like that they ended with one of their heavier songs. In conclusion, this is an album that has a lot going on. On the surface, it feels like a laid-back album, but they have evolved as a band. They are not still playing those that really heavy music they did when it first started. They seem to have embraced a style of music that's more atmospheric, but still heavy in some places. There were a few songs that still had that classic sound. For example, the title track, Truth Killer, and the single, Everything. I would say the last song, Fence, was the heaviest song in the album. But there are also some other songs that were very catchy and had some amazing vocals. A good example of those would be Superficial Drug and Messenger. I would say that this one is on par with their last album, Blood and Stone. Maybe a little better. It's still too early to tell, but if you're a longtime fan, I don't think this album will disappoint you. My score for this is a 7.5 out of 10. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Let me know how this stacks up to some of their other albums, and subscribe if you haven't already. As promised, here is the original review of Blood and Stone. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.